So we are going to do, hey guys, we're going to do multiple rigid motions in one problem. Is that okay?
Yep.
So we're going to do one thing and then do another thing to it. Okay? So like for this one, if we look at number 1 right here, we're going to apply a reflection across the y-axis followed by a translation 2 units up and 3 units to left. So when you do this, I want you guys to do each one individually. So do your reflection, draw out what it looks like as a reflection, and then do your translation afterwards. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So like for each of these, we should have 2 new triangles.
Yeah.
Okay. So, guys, why are we throwing stuff in my class? Someone just got written up for that yesterday. I think you know. Okay, if we are reflecting this triangle, guys, if we are reflecting this triangle across the y-axis, which axis is the y-axis?
Up, down.
Yeah, our vertical one. So, if we're reflecting across the y-axis, we are flipping this horizontally, right? So, what happens to this point here?
It stays right there.
It actually stays right there because it's on the y-axis, right? What happens to this point right here?
-3, 4.
2.
Yeah, so we're going to flip, we're going to change basically our x values to negative, right? So it's going to go right here. So same y value, it just switches our x. What about this last one?
-7, 1.
-7, 1. Okay. Is that okay? Or 2? -7, 2.
2.
Oh, no, you're right. I'm crazy. I'm sorry. I'm looking at it wrong. I'm so sorry. Okay. Is that okay? Okay. So, we can connect. There are a lot of voices that aren't mine talking right now. Okay. Guys. Are we locked in? Did we forget to put our seatbelts on?
Do you have any food? Drink? Do you have drink?
Your mental seatbelt.
Is that supposed to
So that's the reflection, right? So I know I scrolled away from it. But we are applying a reflection across the y-axis, so we did that. And now we're going to do a translation, 2 units up and 3 units to the left. So now from this new triangle, and we're going to call this A prime, we're now going to move 2 units up and 3 units to the left. Is that okay?
Yep.
Okay.
You put like A1 after that?
Yes. Yeah, A double prime is what we call it. But yes.
-6, -7.
So this, let's look at this first point that's on the y-axis. We're going to go 2 units up and 3 units to the left. It's actually, I'll use a new color. It's actually going to be this point. Is that okay?
It's gonna be a reflection.
Well, we already did the reflection. So we went to the left. I might have said to the right, but it's supposed to be to the left. Okay. Guys, is that okay?
Yeah.
So one of our points moved to where our other point was, right? So this point here moved over here.
Yes.
Okay. What about this point originally? We're gonna go 2 units up and 3 units to the left. We should end up here. Yes. And then the bottom one, 2 units up and 3 units to the left, should be here. Okay, then we're going to connect all of our points.
Wait, why did you do the original?
What do you mean?
Why did you move 2 units up?
So we're doing a sequence of rigid motions now. So it asked us to do 2 things, right? So the first thing we did, the pink one, or red one from here, yeah. It looks so much more pink on my iPad, but everyone yells at me and tells me it's red. So our red triangle is from the reflection, right?
That's purple.
So our purple triangle is from the translation.
I know, but how did we get 2?
So reflection is the red and translation is the purple. Does that make sense? So we ended up with 2 new triangles. Good? Okay. Let's try another one. I'm gonna erase this if that's okay, or I'm just gonna, I'll just move it. Okay. So let's do the next one. We're gonna apply a 270-degree clockwise rotation followed by So let's do this. Clockwise rotation, followed by a reflection across the x-axis. Is that okay?
Yep.
Okay. 270. So
So that's to the third
Bottom
one.
left corner.
yes. So instead of 270 clockwise, which we could do, gets a little bit more confusing. We can instead go 90 degrees counterclockwise. Is that okay? Okay. So if we're taking this and we're going 90 degrees counterclockwise, what happens to the 0, 2 point here?
It goes
It's -2, 0.
Negative 2, 0. Yeah, so it should be on the x-axis, exactly. Yeah.
-7, 1.
And then,
-3.
yeah.
-1, 7.
So -1, 7. Great. And then our last one, 3, 4. -4.
4, 3.
Beautiful.
Oh.
Great. So this is our rotation. That gives me a straight line. Okay. So this is our rotation. We'll call it A prime. And now we want to do a reflection across the x-axis. So we're reflecting across the x-axis. The x-axis is our horizontal, so we're moving it down, right? Flipping it over upside down. So what happens to this -2, 0? It stays because it's on the x-axis. What happens to our -4, 3?
It turns -4, -3.
Absolutely. And then our -1, 7?
Yeah,
-1, -7. Perfect. Okay. Oh no. Oh wait, like it jumps
She
it
did.
for me. Yeah, I'm just really good at straight lines. All right, does that make sense? We're good. Okay.
Isn't it A, 1, 1?
Yes, I tried to write it. I think I just wrote it a little too close together.
You wrote K.
Wait, what's the big deal?
You legit just
So we did a rotation, and then we did a reflection. All right, how do we feel about this?
That's tough then. X-axis.
Yeah. Do you feel good?
Yeah.
Feel like we can do this stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys want to try the last one on your own?
No.
type it out on
We already have homework.
Well, I know, but I want you to like try it on your own. Come back to me, and we'll see if it looks right. Does that make sense?
That is not green. That's not brown either.
What are we talking
yelling
about?
at?
Your backpack is not green.
My
That's
backpack
not
is
brown.
beige.
See, beige is brown. You said brown. Beige is a type of brown, right? You got beige. That's green.
Yeah. Your sister has the same one.
That's not green. It looks like that green is
I don't think she likes you.
It's like a beige green. I told you.
Okay, I think most people are out anyway. That's why we haven't. Sorry.
last week do I get Friday break so I would learn that?
Okay, so I want you guys to maybe. I'm thinking about it. I want you guys to try the last one on your own. So try it on a piece of paper. Again, remember when we're doing it on our paper, we don't have to write. I know. Okay. It wasn't. I'm sorry I made it sound like a choice. So remember when we are drawing a graph on our paper, we don't have to write all the tick marks, right? So I just need the ones I care about. So like for drawing this triangle, you don't have to put in all this stuff. You just have to put in your like 2 and put your point. We need the 3 and the 7 for here and put your points. And we're gonna need the 4 for up here. Does that make sense? So you might only have the red on your graph, and that's fine. Okay. And then here are your instructions. So we're gonna apply a translation, sorry. 1 unit down and 2 units to the right. And then after you do that, a 90-degree counterclockwise rotation around the origin. I want you to do it on a piece of paper. There's paper in the drawer. There's even graph paper in there if you want to use it. Yeah, other drawer. you hear my thing? Say, can you grab me? So translation, 1 unit down and 2 units to the right, and then a 90-degree counterclockwise rotation around the origin. So we're trying it on our own paper? Why are you doing that? Oh. It's crazy to have graph paper and then just draw the sloppiest graph I've ever seen.
You really got lines to help you.
Yeah. Like, why wouldn't you line up the lines? I'm so confused.
So if you were to do that, you're gonna go 90 degrees the other way.
So first you are doing your translation. If you do it in a different order, would it change what your graph looks like? The answer is sometimes. Sometimes it would.
From the top, right?
So
From the
a clock goes like this. So counterclockwise is like this.
oh,
Well, it depends on where you are. That's what I'm saying.
I'm in the first square.
So on the top, then
Wait,
it's
the fourth,
you're going to the
second.
yeah.
Wait, so you
Do
rotate.
you replace the thing off the A or A to the one?
A prime.
A.
Yeah. Prime. Prime.
Prime.
It's not a 1, it's like an apostrophe.
So I'm like A1 or is it A just like A? Are we going from A or A prime?
A prime.
So there's a little.
What? Prime. It's not a 1, it's an apostrophe. Yeah, and that's fine. That's fine, but that sounds like A to the first power, which is a whole different, right? That's just A.
Same thing, right? Like I know what it is.
Right, but then it seems like A squared or A cubed or whatever.
Then I would say A squared.
Okay. I mean, I don't really care what you call it. I'm gonna keep calling it A prime.
And I got the thing. And then I rotate it.
So you did the translation.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you're rotating it 90 degrees counterclockwise. So
That's
it'll be in
right.
the second quadrant.
How do I rotate it?
He's trying to trace the thing, but his hand keeps moving, like zooming in and out.
Wait, so
So we do 1 and then 2.
So,
Yeah.
down 1, 2 over.
yeah, I did that. I did
Now
that.
when we're rotating it into the second quadrant,
Alright.
because it's 90 degrees counterclockwise. So we switch our X and Y.
Here.
Right?
Oh, so the negatives
So you
now?
have like, you started at that point 2, right? 0, 2. And we went down 1 and 2 to the right, should be 2, 1. So in the second quadrant, it's going to be negative 1, 2. Is going to be your new point.
It means all the questions under is like what like steps.
Yeah.
And then there's.
So then we switch our X and Y
I didn't do the
for the second quadrant.
So
Yeah.
now this is negative something.
So
No,
now
it's
instead of 2,
negative
1, it's going to be negative 1, 2. It's like right there. And instead of 5, 3,
It'll be negative 3, 5.
negative 3, 5. And instead of 9, 0, it's going to be 0, 9. So on the, no, 0, so on the line. Yeah, there you go. And there's your new triangle. Okay, this is a little messy, but is this the triangle that we got?
What is that?
It's a little messy. Let's look at a cleaner version. Okay, you should have D.
Yeah.
Did you switch your X and Y's when you did your rotation?
Where'd B come from?
Oh,
That was the previous. That was the first one.
Oh,
it
yeah.
looks like that.
Wait, but you said one year.
It's not like it.
No, you're gonna like.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it together.
Same amount of triangles.
See this and this, Evie, you sit there and you say, no, I don't need another example. And then I go, this is why we did another example. Okay, so, guys, what is happening? Okay, you can't make this much noise. So,
She's doing it.
for our translation, 1 unit down and 2 to the right, correct?
Yes.
So from here, we are going 1 down and 2 to the right, ends up here.
That's what I did.
Great. This point turns into this point. This point turns into this point. Okay. So here, I do Zach. Can you give him a pencil?
I think I actually have.
I think I have a few. Okay. So here's our A prime. I know it's hard to see. Okay. From there, we're now rotating 90 degrees counterclockwise is going to take us into the second quadrant. So we switch our x's and y's. So our 2, 1 becomes negative 1, 2.
That's what I did.
Okay, great. 5, 3 becomes negative 3, 5. Right? And 9, 0 becomes 0, 9.
Oh, I did the last one wrong.
Oh, okay, there you go. So just 1. So then we connect our points. It's a little curvy. Yes. There is a clock, right? There's a clock and I'm in the middle. It's not plugged in. I don't know why it's not plugged in. Okay, but do you need to know what time it is when I'm in the middle of explaining an example? To multiple times ask me and interrupt me to know what time it is? What does it change for you what time it is? Absolutely nothing. So interrupting me is not going to be the most helpful. Thank you. What? Cool. Could you plug my clock in? I don't know why it's unplugged. I can say points.
That's
Okay.
Wait, how did you
Yes.
get the D one? You just rotated.
Right.
Translated.
Yes. So that should be this. So what I was showing you earlier was this. It was just the answer key,
Yeah,
and they
I
just
did.
called it D instead.
No,
What I
but
did.
so
Oh,
that's
wait.
gonna rotate it.
I don't think it's well.
For which one?
I think she's talking about the first one.
What time is it?
What time is it?
So they did each of the that answer key that I was showing. They did each of these as a separate thing. So let me do this. So B, C, and D are the 3 different ones that we did.
Yes.
Okay, so this answer key, they just had the answers B, C, and D on there. They didn't have the like in between ones. Okay, how do we feel? Do you feel better?
Can we not have that much homework for Thursday?
What does that mean?
It's a
To you?
Thursday.
Thursdays are not Fridays, but they're not Fridays, so like Thursdays are like the worst days of the week.
That's a very logical.
Don't worry, I got you.
What are you saying? Okay,
Miss thought we done with the lesson.
I think we're done with the lesson unless you guys want another example.
No.
Do we feel confident?
It's a taco.
You want me to end it?
It's what we've been doing. Oh yeah. So
Say
it's just
goodbye.
what? Oh, goodbye.